Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before I get into it, I want to give a huge shout out to my old faithfuls. Thank you so much for all of the support that you have given to me over the years. I also want to give a huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for the extra support that you provide to my channel every month. And I want to give a great big welcome to the newbies. Thank you so much for clicking that subscribe button. And if you've come across this video and are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'd be happy to have you. So I woke up about 10 o'clock last night, started scrolling, and I saw all of the theatrics across all of my For You pages. And I said, bitch, the aim was off yet again. Yeah, y'all not gonna play in my face. I'm going back to bed. And back to bed I went. I wake up this morning and I start paying closer attention to videos and commentary. I know you are fucking lying. These people are yet again trying to play in our faces. I picked out a few of my favorites that helped to shape my opinion. Okay? Let's start with this.
It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
And then I saw this. Anybody else feel that their reactions weren't sequenced? Melania reacted long before he reacted. And then I saw this. They got the vice president out before they got the president out. And then I saw this. Not the director of the FBI hiding with everybody else. That's not suspicious at all. And then I saw this.
I just want to go.
I guess a theatrical event would not be complete without a star, blonde-haired, blue-eyed performer. there's a lot of people out there that has sympathy for her in this moment. I don't. I really don't. They're talking about with all that she has been through, now this. You know what she could have been doing? She could have been at home with her kids instead of out and about chasing fame and adoration for herself and trying to brainwash America's kids into her white Christian nationalist bullshit. Yeah, she could have been at home with her kids. Anywho, then I saw this.
Everybody's good. Nice. So one shooter, two right. It is now a crime scene. Secret Service is in custody, has the person in custody. Everything's okay. One shooter, no, we know so far.
Everything is okay. One shooter. And then I saw what Donald Trump posted over on Truth Social. I find this strange. Immediately, we have to post proof that this is real. I'm sorry, y'all. That whoosh whoosh that y'all hear, it's the fan. I'm having a big one right now. But then I saw Donald Trump posted this. A picture of the suspected shooter. Face down, no shirt, on the floor. I saw some posts where he's supposed to be arraigned today or tomorrow. It's all confusing out there on social media, but this is your suspected shooter. There's more of the foolishness. Then I saw this.
I want to just quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband. He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me, and right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened, and then he kind of leaned over and said, I watched you on TV, you did a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some.
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there. And this happens, by the way, especially when you have so many people attempting to utilize the same cell service at the same time. I did want to add this. While we had a moment, I was...
Right as the dinner was starting, Caroline Levitt's husband looks over to her and tells her that she needs to be very safe. And then he looks around the room and says, because. And then the phone call ends. He says this to her before all of the theatrics started. Oh, okay. At this point, there's a whole bunch of different videos out there. People running at different locations at the venue, trying to get out, trying to find a hiding space. A whole lot of mayhem going on, right? They make an announcement that the ceremony will begin again. Okay, so y'all got a man face down in the lobby, no shirt, supposedly trying to take out the president. Okay? But y'all are getting ready to start up the festivities again. Okay, so there's a bunch more running around, people trying to find a space. And then there's this.
This is a room full of reporters, so I know you've already seen the president's tweet. My apologies, his post on Truth Social. And law enforcement has requested that we leave the premises consistent with protocol. And he wanted to emphasize that nobody was hurt. He and the First Lady, the cabinet, everybody's safe. The president will be having a press briefing at the White House in 30 minutes. That is not a joke. And he insists that we will reschedule this event in the next 30 days. And that he wanted to do it tonight. He wanted to continue despite the news, but has to follow security protocol. I said earlier tonight that journalism is a public service because when there is an emergency, we run to the crisis, not away from it. And on a night when we are thinking about the freedoms in the First Amendment, we must also think about how fragile they are. I saw all of you reporting, and that's what we do.
Does she mean the First Amendment that Donald Trump and the people in his cabinet, his administration, are constantly stomping on, trying to take away from us, actively implementing policies, bullying and harassing corporations, colleges and universities, news media, because he doesn't like what's being said about him, what's being reported about him, the truth that people are trying to put out there, that First Amendment right she's talking about. And from that point, Donald Trump did exactly that. He went on to have a press conference where he specifically said this.
And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before.
Could it be that this was an event to try to sway the powers that be into building his ballroom? Then he went on to say this. Peter Ducey from Fox News asked him a question.
Thank you very much. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, you go through the people that have gone through this, where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt. And they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country, and there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
And so those were the clips that shaped my opinion that if you believe all of these theatrics that took place at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night, I've got some magic beans for sale. That's right. You get 5 magic beans that will grant one wish. Okay? Each bundle of 5 costs $100,000. Act now while supplies last. Okay? You can hit up my CashApp and you can hit up my Venmo. All right? All right, these motherfuckers can go play in somebody else's face. They're not playing in mine.